Do you have an answer for that, by the way? If you were to do a little summer project, we got baseball from over here. What do you got?
A weekly check-in with Matt Austin. See what he's up to.
Wow.
Get him to make a smoothie.
Oh God, you can't do that to him, man.
You got to give him. You got to get him. He's shown he's going to do anything. He's going to put anything in. So we come up with the recipe.
He did that for charity.
Yeah, but now he can do it for a podcast. He'd love it. He'd love to show how he's looking great. By the way, his hair was looking great. I'm sure he's been keeping himself in great nick. So I think there's something there with Matt. And it just showed. He's been out of the pod game for how long now? Like we haven't had him on for probably a year now. He picked it up just like that.
Natural.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's got that California glow. I think he would be up for it.
You guys really want to fuck Matt Austin. Hey, you guys are really in. You're really
What would we
crushing
call
on him.
this one, though? Because it couldn't be no Matts. It'd have to be all Matts.
All Matts.
Yeah.
All Matt.
Yeah.
Our new podcast. I know you don't usually watch like series like this, but you do love The Godfather.
I
This
do.
would be a pretty good one for you to dip in here.
I would like to watch that. Yeah. Where did you say? Paramount Plus?
Paramount Plus.
All right.
Not an ad.
Not an ad. Not an
The
ad.
best integration of an ad that I've
What are we
ever
talking?
seen.
Hour-long episodes or half hour?
They're about an hour long.
Okay.
But you know what? They fly by. You'll love it.
Yeah.
You'll love it.
There it is. All right, JD recommending The Offer on Paramount Plus, not an ad, but it should be. Come on, Paramount Plus.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, let's call it there.
God, how many different streaming services are there these days? You know,
So splintered. We're so splintered.
Yeah.
How was anything popular?
Hey, let's name them. This will be like us naming NBA guys.
Okay.
HBO Plus, Max,
Oh, wait. Is it Plus or Max?
That's Max.
HBO goes.
Netflix,
Yeah,
Apple
HBO's good.
Plus,
Keep going.
CNN
CBS.
Plus.
What are
Come
the
on,
new ones?
CNN Plus. Nope.
No,
I know.
Hulu.
That's right. Hulu, yeah.
Yeah.
Fubo, Fobu,
Yeah.
Pluto.
Tubi. Roku.
Kayo.
Oh, wow.
That may
Never
be
heard
just
of
an
that.
Australian one.
You're just making one. right
Crackle.
now.
That's Canada.
Yeah, that's Canada. Yep.
Tinder.
Nope. Not a streamer.
What are you watching on Tinder? I have an idea, but
The Tinder Swindler was good.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good one.
there's too
YouTube
much.
Plus
Yeah. Yes.
YouTube Red.
or Red?
Yeah,
No, I don't think it's Red
I don't
anymore,
think
is it?
they call it red anymore. Sounds too porny.
Yeah.
Totally. There's your Matt Austin show, by the way. Just Matt consuming content.
Yeah.
And whatever
This.
the hot show is,
Okay.
or movie, whatever.
There's 2 different Matt Austin shows a week. Then we can do.
Why don't we do one with Matt Olson and the other one with Matt Austin?
Mattios.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you got to find.
all Matty O's.
We
There
need 3
go.
more Mattios who can make it.
Why do we need 3 more?
One every day of the week.
All right, if your name
that's
is
tough.
Matt and your last name starts with an O, get in contact with us. We have a great podcast idea.
No Matt left behind. Then you eliminate the O's.
Yeah, that's true too.
All right. No, Matty O's sounds good.
All right.
Baseball player. We need the baseball player. There's a Matthew Olson baseball player. Does he
yeah.
want to start a podcast?
Everybody
Probably.
does, so yeah, I'm sure he does. We just got to pitch him on the right idea.
When was a time that you got in trouble for something, and instead of changing your behavior, you found a sneakier way to get away with it?
So when most of my friends turned 18 way before I did, and so they were going to bars and clubs and things like that. And fake ID just never worked for me because I would use someone's ID that was supposed to make me look like I was 20. And when I was 17, I looked like I was about 12. So
That's why you tried growing those giant button shops.
I wasn't shaving at 17. So anyway, but there was like this club. It was kind of a bit like the beer market in Toronto. This place that was a restaurant that became a nightclub later in the night.
Okay.
And so the bouncers wouldn't come on the door until like 8 o'clock, but the doors would open at 5 o'clock.
So as long as you went to the restaurant and stayed in there for hours, you were good.
Yeah. So,
That's smart.
Yeah, but trying to get someone to come along with me at like 5:15. Be like,
You want to go to the club? Yeah, sure. What time we going? 5:15. Might have an app.
yeah, and I'm going to order a steak and just sit on it for like 2 hours in there. But that was the thing was as well. You couldn't really order a beer at that time because they would say, "Where's your ID?" But if you didn't order a beer, they would let you sort of have a meal, right? So then when it started to get a bit busier around 7:30, 8 o'clock, then a few other people were there. You're like, okay, grab me a beer now. So it looks like I've already been accepted and passed the security.
Wow.
And I remember one night though, like a bouncer walked straight up to me at like 8:15. He goes, "How old are you?" was like, 18. Where's your ID? Oh, I forgot it today. And he's like, all right, if I see you drink another beer, you're out. And so I was like, okay, so I guess I'm allowed to stay there.
Well, he wanted you to order another steak. Yeah, let's make some money for the restaurant.
So, I got into that place a couple of times, but that was really the only sort of place that had a bit of a loophole there of getting in.
You did it a couple times, but then you realized, this is a fun night, but it's not worth getting here at 5:15 and dropping $50 on the steak every day.
Ironically, this was the same place, like later on, once I was 18 and I was driving, I drove there for some reason one night, and they wouldn't let me in because they said I was too drunk. And I was like, I'm as sober as a priest. I haven't had a drink. And the guy was like,
priests are sober.
And I was like, I haven't been drinking. He said, no, I can tell by your eyes you've had too much to drink. And I'm like,
wow,
Jesus,
damn, what a diss.
It was summer, and there was a bit of there was a bit of a hazy sort of day, like pollen and stuff in the air. But I was like, Jesus, I can't. This is crazy. I got in before I was 18, and now they won't let me in when I am 18. It's wild stuff.
So what'd you do? You just drove home?
I had to drive home. Yeah. And a few people were like, just wait for us, the drunk ones. And I'm like, well, I'm not waiting 3 hours for you. I'm not going for a steak somewhere else for you.
That's a great answer to this question. I had nothing to ask. I don't know if you.
Not anything as sneaky as that. That was sneaky. Okay, in summary, the best names for LeBron's new podcast. We've got 10 of them for you. At 10, The King's Court. At 9, Talk-O Tuesday. At 8, some people say LeBron's best skill is his podcasting. At number 7, Just a Pod from Akron. At number 6, All the King's Voices. Network Potential. Think about it, LeBron. At number 5, Podcast Listeners, this one's for you. I'm stealing that. At number 4, Billionaire Boys Club. At number 3, No Dunk Contest. At number 2, LeBron Has a Podcast. And number 1, The Chosen Pod. There you go, LeBron.
Wow. Just doing free work for LeBron James. Look at that list.
Yeah,
great ideas.
Shout out to everybody who's throwing out the names on Twitter. Our man Kenny Beecham was asking people on Twitter. Well done, everybody.
All right. And if you have a new suggestion or a fresh suggestion, drop it in the stream team right now.
There's a great one we missed.
Uh-oh.
Many have said it. I think Sam was the first. The basketball James. How do we miss it?
Wow.
How do we miss it?
It's right there.
Yeah.
Very good.
TBJ, come on.
That's good. Wow. Let's call it there, though. These guys got to get their asses to Boston.
Yeah, speaking of Boston, I actually found something last night in the archives from the last time we were in Boston for the No Season Required tour. I found the lobster roll there from Neptune's. Got a photo of it.
What? I can't believe you.
I know. I found it there. So, not a bad-looking lobster roll.
Looks pretty bad.
Not a great photo, if I'm being honest.
Look,
Awful photo.
not a great photo, but you can see there. But I also
Looks
found
like you regurgitated your food onto like a hot dog.
I also found another photo that was a little funnier here, just from the notes.
Okay.
Look at Matt there. Now, this is in the karaoke bar there in New York. But look at him just
Weird photo
perusing.
this is, too. And that's
Only
you.
close-ups.
That's you in the background.
That's
isn't it?
right, yeah.
Is that a Basketball James t-shirt? You already got one of LeBron's
I have
podcast
no
shirts?
idea who would have taken this photo because it was on my camera, so someone else was taking it.
I like to think you have a selfie stick going under the tape to be able to get that sick snap of an empty Bud Light.
Oh, what song is Matt perusing for
Look
there?
at the eyes there.
Turning his nose up at every song
No.
in the binder.
Not doing that one.
Nope.
Know that one too well.
Yeah.
Are you guys excited for Boston?
Very excited.
Okay. And you got to get to the airport so you can have a pizza.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. I don't know if I have a... usually it's a late in the evening, and it's also a glass of wine with JD, you know?
Evening
So,
pizza.
JD, you want to come along and have a glass of wine this afternoon?
Just go through security and have a glass of wine and an entire Veracruz pizza, and then
I
just
love
leave.
this place.
This place is great.
I'm just saying. I'll be there if you want to come along.
Only if the piano player is playing, because that's a nice touch as well. Yeah, the live grand piano being played. It was the most romantic night
yes.
in the last 10 years, I think I've had. Yeah.
You guys having wine
Just us
pizza
drinking
in
wine.
the airport?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, you running back with your wife every week, JD.
Tried to. Put it on the calendar.
All right, guys. Again, follow all of our accounts is what I'm trying to say on social media at No Dunks Inc. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, the YouTube channel here, because we got the YouTube Shorts I think these guys are going to take advantage of, because Lee and Trey will be dropping content all week long as they head to Boston here for games 3 and 4. Really excited to see what you guys get up to. Email in your NBA questions to nodunks@theathletic.com. Get yourself an Athletic subscription. If you don't have one of those, go to theathletic.com/nodunks.
I know this is very impromptu, JD, but if you can have a zoom in of me.
He found something. Yeah,
This is the last time we were at Verasano's together.
Oh my god. How do you do this? How do you find these so quick?
So you can see.
Okay, for the podcast listeners, Lee has found a photo, of JD with a red glass of red wine and a pizza, and looks happy. There's the piano. Oh my god. That's the happiest he's ever been in 10 years.
Yeah.
Remember that the potions we were talking about on the Drop podcast where you could just teleport to any airport?
That's why he picked it.
Yeah, skip security to sit at the piano, eat some pizza.
Do you know who's performing Game 4? Any idea? Has that been released by the NBA yet? No.
It's going to be Murphy Lee. He's doing What the Hook Gonna Be. He's going to do the whole song. It's his only hit.
Wow. Lee, who would you like to see in Boston? You still want one of the Wahlbergs? Or?
No. Paul McCartney was actually playing the day Trey and I arrived at Fenway Park.
Wow.
If we'd known that, I think we might have caught an earlier flight. We would have gotten up here a little bit early. So maybe if P-Mac's still in town, maybe he can come out and hit us with a couple of bangers. But
P-Mac.
Yeah.
No one has ever called Paul McCartney P-Mac.
Somebody please Photoshop Paul McCartney's head onto that picture of Tracy McGrady wearing gigantic pants and send it to us and we'll retweet it.
There you go.
P-Mac.
There you go. Well, you asked for it. We got it here, Trey. Lee calling Paul McCartney P-Mac. And
oh, yeah, buddy.
Trey said, somebody out there tweet a photo of Paul McCartney's head on the classic Tracy McGrady giant suit photo. And a couple people came through, but here's the first one I saw. It's from Jocko S. And really well done. So there's P-Mac, the big sleep.
The big sleep? Yep. It looks exactly how I imagined.
Yeah.
Perfect. I don't know if I can see Paul McCartney wearing a suit like this. He was super stylish in the Beatles documentary that was out earlier this year. He did like a big pant for sure on the cover of Abbey Road, so maybe he'd be interested. But that's more of a David Byrne sort of suit, if you ask me.
Yeah. Our buddy John's getting married this weekend. I hope he's wearing a suit like Tracy McGrady. He likes them baggy, but we'll see. Maybe he'll have a customized suit there. All right, great stuff. Tass, what do you think from Tyler's question here? What are they doing in this situation?
Well, it's a good question, Tyler. I know Al Horford is going to down chocolate milk as soon as they win the championship, if they do. And he's an old man at 36, because this is from a recent article on The Athletic about Horford's journey. Quote, Al's sister Maria began to talk about the journey to the finals and her brother's future. His dad, Tito, knocked on a glass partition to get our attention. In his hand, he offered the Horford family's secret to health and wellness, a carton of chocolate milk. Horford doesn't do many ads, but he is known as a spokesperson for chocolate milk. It's a Horford family staple. We just all fucking love chocolate milk, Maria said.
Wow.
That's Al's idea of a stiff drink at the end of the day, Anna added. He doesn't like beer or wine. He'll occasionally have a glass of wine, but he's not big on liquor or stuff. So chocolate milk at the end of the day is what gets it done. And Jared Weiss with a great article there on The Athletic, getting to know the Horford family. And it ended with a glass of chocolate milk for everybody, or a carton of chocolate milk, I guess. And that's probably what they'll have in the Celtics locker room, being handed out to everybody drinking champagne. But Al's just there pushing cartons of chocolate milk on everybody.
Doesn't Klay Thompson love chocolate milk too? Man,
he used to
this is
do
the
that,
chocolate
of
milk
course, yeah.
finals.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right.
I hope they have chocolate milk in the locker room afterwards. Just pouring chocolate milk all over each other. That would be amazing. We just love chocolate milk. The whole family. We thought we had everything. We had Beantown Boys t-shirts. We had a place to play, a beautiful park. We had our basketball gear. The one thing we didn't have, however, was a basketball. Hard to pack a basketball. But shout out to Paul. Paul just walked up. He was just there to play some hoops. And he said he saw us filming, the video of Lee saying come out and play. And then as he got closer, he said, I recognize the accent from somewhere. He was just showing up to play there, but knew Lee, I'm assuming from NBA TV days. We eventually got playing once Cheeve showed up, played some 2-on-2, eventually morphed into 3-on-3. I don't know if you all got up to 4-on-4. I had to be on a call a little bit during the second half of the day, but I do have to mention, Lee, you got the best of me in the one game that was on camera. But I was 2-0 for Trey before the cameras started rolling. I was happy to be beefing in those, in all of those videos, but I wish I had some more buckets represented as well. Because people are like, I'm surprised you are really a big guy. I was like, yeah, it's true. I am a big guy. But Lee was literally giving shooting instructions. People are like, I heard one of the fans who showed up say, they say Lee's got a really nice jumper on the show, but it completely lives up to the hype in person. He's standing out there outside the three-point line talking about how how he's mastered having his elbow underneath the ball and how it's really only a one-arm jump shot. It's just the same as a one-arm jump shot. Of course, he knocks down a couple in a row. Had a bad bounce on the next one, but that was the most hilarious moment to me. Lee, 5 to 6 people standing around him, watching him break down the mechanics of his own jump shot. And then I even heard him utter at one point, somebody said, is there anybody you modeled your game after? He's like, well, defense, Hakeem Olajuwon. Just flew off his tongue. Yeah. No problem. He had a strip later on during the day and somebody's like, that's just like Hakeem Olajuwon. It was too good. It was a really, really fun time. So we're going to have to do it again.
Oh, yeah.
At some point.
Absolutely. No, it was
Hakeem
so...
Olajuwon.
Well,
you got the script.
Stuff on offense, Hakeem on defense. The greats.
Well, and I actually, because Mrs. Cheeve didn't turn up until a little bit later on, I had a couple of blocks on Cheeve there that weren't on the camera, unfortunately.
Oh, man.
I got one of them there, but yeah, that's the thing is you don't want to use all your good plays when there's no one rolling. You got to try to save a couple of them, because Trey's right. He won the first game, but unfortunately, there's no documented evidence of it.
Preseason game, unfortunately.
That's right. Yeah.
We did have a great moment though. Right before I had to hop on a call, we got a honest to goodness wedgie, and everybody went crazy when it happened. Because can you imagine if a wedgie actually happens out here? I think it was Samir who took the shot, second from the right there. But as soon as it wedged in, it was a deep one.
Oh, yeah.
So we had quite a bit of time to set up a photo here, and I love to see Samir and Sebastian praying to the wedgie gods.
Does anybody else have any random notes from Game 5 of the NBA Finals? Tass, you got anything else on your list there?
I'm all listed out. We did a great job. We did an incredible job recapping everything that happened in this basketball game. I like Jalen Rose's suit. I thought he looked great.
Yeah.
You just reminded me.
I liked Lisa Salters in her leather jacket, as I said. It had a Fonz vibe to it lately. Hey. We already talked about family ties. Let's make it even older reference with Happy Days. Or
yeah, the Fonz. That's quite a compliment to pay.
That is. That look cool. Okay. And Trey, anyone else of note wearing something cool?
Keep
going.
I didn't see anything.
Oh, that's a great way to possibly wrap this one up. Oh my God. Good stuff. You're not going to find that type of insight on any other podcast out there.
Don't you have a medal somewhere around there?
It's in a bag still.
A medal in a bag, packed up, precious cargo. People want to hear about the race, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I could save it for another podcast. It's late. We got to get Lily to bed. But it went great. You guys talked about it this morning. I PB'd. I'm headed back to Boston. It was a really fast downhill course. The weather was incredible. It was crazy coming back to Atlanta, how hot it is here, especially how cool it is in Washington State. Here. I didn't see any sea lions, but I saw some big ass deer, Lily. I saw the biggest deer I've ever seen, like up close. Like deer are not usually that. Like this is how big it was. We saw it from like 100 yards. We were driving. We thought it was a moose.
I thought you were running.
No, we were driving to the eventual race.
Okay, no wonder you said a PB downhill in a car.
We'll have to check me. I have to check my my mat times. Check me in the photos. That guy's in a
was
car.
going 65 miles per hour.
No, we thought it was a moose, and we're like, "Holy crap!" And then, no, we just got closer. It was the biggest deer I've ever seen. And side note, around mile 23, like getting close to ending the marathon on this, like it was a really like trail race and stuff like that. We were in the like beautiful scenery, like in this is basically mountain or pass, I guess. But we were coming to the end. The biggest piece of turd like that I've since the farm, since seeing cows do their business, and everybody running by like I hate to see that dog and stuff like that. Like this thing was insane, and like we just kept thinking like if somebody stepped in that, their race was ruined. Like it would have devoured them. It was that big, so it's like the Jurassic Park turd.
Big deers. Big deers lead to big poos, I suppose. I mean,
yes, it was crazy.
Is that why big massive dumps was trending today?
It may have been. But, yeah. Anyway, the race went fine. Saw a big turd, and before the race, saw a big deer. Were they related? Probably. But
that's a good report, man.
Yeah,
that's a perfect report.
It's a great race.
You guys remember these people? Oops. Hey.
Which people are you referring to?
Hold on.
I like the intro is very conversational.
Hey. Yeah. Hey.
There he is.
Remember these people? Wait, is this gonna work?
Going out to eat.
Oh yeah.
Going out to eat. Going out to eat. What are we doing? We're a family. We're going out to eat. Going out to eat.
That's right.
I remember those people.
How could we
remember
forget?
Yeah, I'd like to recreate that right now with a slight tweak. Okay,
Wow.
So ready? Listen to what I say, and then we're going to go around the horn. Ready? We're going out for drinks.
We're going out for drinks.
We're going out for drinks.
Going out for drinks.
We're a podcast, and we're going out for drinks. That's right, we're going out for drinks, you guys. And everyone is invited. We are going to this place, Starboard Tech in Las Vegas. Let me get the dates up here. I believe it's September. Wow. Saturday, July 9th at Starboard Tech. That's 2601 Atlantic Street in sunny, super hot Las Vegas. It's Summer League, and we're going out for drinks. It's a fan meetup. There's no show. There's just shaking hands and clinking glasses and, I don't know, eating oysters, it looks like.
I seem to remember Matt Austin having like a gigantic tray of appetizers at some point the last time we were at Starboard Tech.
We got to get him to come and just sort of, serve apps, I'd love that. A huge tray and just...
It's only a short drive from LA too. He can make it. Yeah.
I mean, is it short? How long
4
is it
hours.
from LA? 4 hours, that's not bad.
Yeah.
So it's a fan meetup, and this is perfect because I know that there's people who have tweeted me and say, man, I tune out every time you talk on the podcast. So those people won't be there because they're not hearing this.
Suckers.
So yeah, no tweet, just a promo for a party that we're just hanging out in Las Vegas, and I actually can't wait.
I always thought scenes of someone gaining access to forbidden areas by posing as a delivery person were nonsense until I made it past Boston Garden security by showing them 2 tall green hats I had to deliver. What's something from movies that you always thought was unrealistic, but it turned out to be true? This is, of course, from the only guy I know to wear tall green hats, Chief.
Straight up, Chief.
So, I guess Chief did this recently? Is he saying he brought the hats to you guys? I guess that's what he's saying here, right, in this story?
From what I can gather, we didn't see the back end of Chief's operation here, but it seemed he would get up to the 8th floor, and he thought he had reached that green ceiling. He thought there's no way I'm breaking through here. But he had these giant hats. He showed them to security. It said, I'm bringing these tall green hats up to a couple of guys on the 9th floor. Come on through, Chief. Bring the green hats up to the rafters. He brings them up. We were admittedly very excited to see him show up with the hats, so I'm sure that helped sell it. Then we threw the hats on. We took a picture. I brought the hat out tonight. The girls at dinner were like immediately ran to their room to get a stuffed animal so they could keep pulling a rabbit out of a hat. So a magical moment all around. And yeah, pretty impressive by Jeeve to use the hats to gain entry to another level of the Garden. Crazy stuff.
Impressive by Chief, but what is going on with NBA security nowadays? Like, a guy can sort of look like Klay Thompson, just stroll right in, shoot around. A guy shows up with a couple green hats. Yeah, let him anywhere he wants. That might be the lexicon. Yeah,
they're going to need those hats up there.
Yeah.
Speaking of TNV, let's go to the TD Garden for this tweet because Mark Gottlieb tweeted, "The toilet at the Garden for a Celtics NBA game is dead set the funniest place on earth." Quote, "Jason Tatum is not ready for the spotlight. Tatum's not ready for the spotlight." I just like a Boston accent. We haven't had enough Boston accents. Did you guys enjoy your experience in Boston listening to the locals talk about spats? That's sports. I didn't know what that was.
I didn't know what you said. I'm glad you told me.
I overemphasize it. I'm not good at it.
I would have gone more a spotlight than spotlight. Yeah, Jason Tatum not ready for the spotlight.
What did you say in our video? You said there's some water in Boston.
Yes, Boston. That's what I'm going more of than Boston, the water in Boston. You know,
that's why I came to you. Yeah, you're local.
Yeah, Trey. Actually, Jeb. Whoops, not that one. This one. Yeah, here we go.
Horford. Horford walking by the water in Boston.
Yeah.
That's Lee doing a Boston accent. The best locals we ran into were after Game 4. We were trying to get our car to go wherever back to our hotel. And we just ended up waiting at this one random corner where we had like just a bunch of people just walking by each and every way, including one guy who just couldn't stop bleeding from the leg guy. He was just covered in blood from riding his bike. Not great. We had another guy, just a group of drunk bros, come up. He's like, "Dude, are you Will Ferrell?" I was like, no, but this guy was funny. This guy was actually funny to me. And then we just had like a car literally parked on the sidewalk for no reason, and some cops came up on like on a
it was like
I was like, what is going on here? So that was the most locals experience that we got, but that was enough. That was a perfect amount.
That guy with the blood, I mean, it was a huge gash he had on his leg. And he was doing something where he was washing like paper towel or something in just like water in the top of
water in Boston.
Yeah, water in Boston at the top of like a street divider thing. I don't know how he even got the water there. And I'm like, oh my God, that's going to infect it even more though, isn't it? What do you know, I didn't want to go up to him because I don't know how he got this injury, but it was just weird that he was using dirty water to sort of clean his wound. I was like, what is going on? But it was late night, Friday night. We were waiting for an Uber and, we were just hanging out. Remember the bros is all about, I don't know how we got to it, but he asked, or he found out we worked for The Athletic. And he's like, yo, The Athletic, man, that it's sick. But that paywall, man, that sucks, man.
I was like, yeah, kind of the whole business model.
Did you have a favorite moment though? I feel like there was like a million things happening at this parade. Looked like one hell of a party, I gotta say. Like, if you're a Warriors fan and you were there in San Francisco, that looked like a good time, great weather. But you have a favorite moment?
I mean, pretty much anything Klay did yesterday.
Yeah, sure.
And it started off great for him because his hat blew off on his boat on the way to.
Why is that good? He lost his championship hat.
Yeah, but then he said afterwards, "I do not condone littering." I tried to find her, but now she's one with the ocean, unfortunately. That's why I have the captain's hat on, because he did have that.
That part was amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
They couldn't find an extra hat for Klay.
I'm happy
Just
they
one.
couldn't. He had the captain hat on all day.
but just, I do not condone littering. Like, it's okay. We saw it just blow up. No one say you just chucked it, it left up. Klay let out a massive yawn while Draymond was addressing the crowd yesterday. He plowed through a fan yesterday.
Yeah, he was like trying to get over to the fan.
Yeah.
And he was stumbling and then just nailed a woman to the ground. Yeah.
He dropped one of his championship rings on the street. Like, those are worth, thousands and thousands of dollars.
Priceless.
Yeah. But my favorite part was when he decided to bust out a move with the Larry O'Brien trophy. We have the clip here. He was strolling along. Here he is. Look at this
guy's having the time of his life.
And then he's just like, hang on a minute.
Yeah. Why did he do this?
Put this down on the ground real quick.
Did somebody yell at him to do that?
Who cares? Who knows? It's Klay. You never really know what's going on. But, man, he was having the time of his life. He was also in the hot tub, I think, back at the facility there afterwards yesterday. Like, man, what a day we had. So it was great. Klay, I mean, that's a TV show right there. Just follow Klay around.
Yeah. Because I saw a tweet come in this morning, actually. Tweet of the morning. And it's from Tass Mellis. And we got to show this to you here on YouTube. For our podcast listeners, we are showing you a hat that the MLB has made for the Toronto Blue Jays. And it's disgusting because Tass Mellis tweets, as a dual citizen, I'm in the position to declare, this is hideous. And, Tass, how would you describe this hat for the podcast listeners? It's obviously a Jays hat with just the stars and stripes incorporated of the American flag.
Yeah, I can't even. What is that? I don't know how to describe it. It's like the American flag pooped on Canada.
Yeah, it's like bird poop. A bird.
But
is
like
pooped
90s bird poop.
Yeah,
it's got like almost like a solo jazz cup kind of vibe.
Bird poop.
I heard a scoff, a verbal scoff from you when that image came up.
Verbal scoff.
So as a Canadian and only a Canadian, describe your scoff, please.
We've seen this sort of design, the Canada and the United States flag come together. I mean, you have one hanging in your garage, and it's...
Oh, yeah. Where's the burrito photo?
Better.
Me and Trey touching burritos in front of that flag.
It's very... I'm not a fan. Maybe it's the red Blue Jays logo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I think
does
that
not help.
I agree with that.
There's too...
Gets washed out a little.
Yeah.
All right.
It's gross.
Lee, do you have any thoughts on this hat? Do you find it hideous like Tass tweeted?
I don't find it hideous.
Interesting.
I just think one thing I noticed about when I moved to Canada for the very first time, I think a lot of people see Canada as just an extension of the United States.
How dare you?
No, I'm just saying that's the sort of perception, right?
America's hat, if you will.
Yeah.
I think of Australia
That's
just
great.
as
Canada's
a
America's
bigger
hat.
New Zealand, personally. Too.
No, but
It's
see, I'm not trying to offend anyone.
I'm
I'm just
kidding.
saying, from living in Europe and Australia, like people just say, "Oh, Canada's just it's just the 51st state of America." But when you live there, you realise, oh no, it's not. Very, very independent. Very, very independent. And Canadians are very much we're Canadians. You know, we're not Americans per se.
And
we're
someone
Canadians.
like you could come into Canada, get trapped wind, can't fart at the game, have to go to the hospital, and look, you're covered, man.
Listen, I got hugged at the airport in Canada coming through customs. Remember that friend? She saw us.
She's a fan of the show.
Yeah, we got a big hug. So, that's a Canadian stereotype. They're so friendly.
You've never been hugged entering the United States of America by a customs agent? No?
I have never felt the need to reach out and say, "Yeah, bro, come on, you want to hug it out?" No, never. But that's all I'll say. So I can understand why people are like, "Listen, we're Canadians." United States of America are United States of Americans, not Americans. We're not like one, if you know what I mean.
We're North Americans.
Yeah, North Americans, yes.
North American
Is Mexico
hat.
North America?
Yeah.
I know some people say that's where it starts. It's
You're
South
trying
America.
to test me.
No, I'm just
Trying to
saying.
get me in trouble?
Like, there's some people start it sort of there, but I always
Who starts it?
People do.
What people?
People outside of here think America is Canada and the United States, and then it's like Latin America starts where they start speaking Spanish. So, anyway,
NAFTA.
The
there you go.
punctuation.
Let's call it there. JD, you're flying home to the great country, the
am.
51st state.
The 51st state.
of Canada.
Domestic
Walk
travel.
right across that border, wearing that hat. I can't
You're
wait.
gonna hug every customs agent.
I'm
you come
hugging
across.
everybody. Everybody's getting a hug from me.
So where are you going? You're heading out east.
I'm going to Nova Scotia. That's that's Rachel's family. is
Oh,
up there,
excellent.
so,
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
exciting.
Awesome. So yeah, JD's headed there later today. So no show probably on Wednesday, Thursday again. We'll do an emergency podcast if it calls for it. But we will be back. The plan is in the yard at least on Friday to do a little post draft recap.
Yes.
And whatever else is happening in the NBA. So make sure you subscribe to No Dunks here on YouTube or wherever you listen to your No Dunks podcast. All right. Until probably Friday, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us, and remember, NAFTA. It actually stands for Now a Fan of the Athletic. or
That's good.
Not a fan of the... I couldn't find a word
Better
for
not be
hat that starts with A. It doesn't exist. Now a fan of the
Not a fan of the
Ass ugly hat.
ass ugly hat.
yeah, just hyphenate it. It works.
But I will say the most memorable, no doubt about it, one that we're going to see on slideshows for the rest of time has got to be Paolo Banchero rocking the No Dunks purple,
Yeah.
covered in rhinestones or trinkets of some sort, looking a little bit like a motion capture suit or a pin cushion or perhaps a Fabergé egg. This was not my favorite look, but this was a notable look. He also went with a wild green suit, looking a little bit like the Riddler. And look at the collar on his shirt. It goes 2 to 3 buttons high up his neck. You guys know I love a long neck. And that is quite the way to accentuate it. I feel like his entire fit is based around showing how long his neck is.
I loved him and Banchero because for me, my favorite Joker of all time is Cesar Romero, and that's who Banchero looked like in that suit. And then we got the Riddler as well.
Yeah.
So I was like,
That's pretty
funny.
It was Batman.
Well, there was no Batman, but there was a commissioner. Not Commissioner Gordon. Instead, it was Commissioner Silver. So he was the chief of police there.
I would say the guy carrying what is most charitably described as a utility belt, just like Batman did, has got to be Benedict Mathurin, taking the red carpet, wearing an Axe body spray bag with a can of Axe body spray coating on it.
So okay, Trey.
I mean, get the literal bag here.
Yeah, I saw this photo going around. Like, obviously, this is like before the draft when they're doing like the little, the carpet walk there, red carpet. And I was like, at first, I loved the suit. Okay, wow, bold. I mean, he's got a personality. If you're gonna wear something like that, but I didn't even notice at first the Axe part of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting paid, and then until you said it this morning, I was like, oh my god, wow. Hope he saw some dollars. Of course, he saw some dollars for that.
Exactly, getting paid before he even signs the first contract, which very smart. But I'm like you, Skeets. I was like, oh, he's just deciding to wear a bag. Interesting style choice there. And then you enhance, and it's straight up Axe body spray. This guy's like, normally I stink to high heaven, but not on draft night.
Yeah.
I'm smelling fresh, sport fresh.
That Axe is in the spray position as well. It's just ready to spray on someone. Hilarious.
You could stay